let's switch paces over to the girl who was locked up by her mother inside of their home for 6 years of her life. Her name is Danielle, and she could not eat or read or write. A detective who had discovered her said it was the worst case of child abuse he had seen in decades on the job. The girl named Danielle was discovered by a Florida detective who responded to a child abuse report in July of 2005. It was reported through, obviously, Child Protective Services. The official, an official named Mark, he said that someone had seen the girl looking out of a broken window. When officers arrived on the scene, they found a room filled with filth and insects and other types of refuse. Danielle was only 6 years old at the time that she was found, when she was discovered on a mold-covered mattress with lice and fleas and maggots covering her. Her case was the worst case of neglect situation that he had ever seen. Definitely, nobody necessarily knew like her birth date. So it was reported her birth date was in September. He said that the smell inside the home made him sick. The girl weighed only 46 pounds, you guys. And as I said, she couldn't talk, she couldn't walk, she couldn't eat food. This officer had been in law enforcement for 27 years, and said that this was the by far worst case type situation he had ever encountered. After some time, detectives had determined that she was nearly 7 years old. She was being kept behind a closed door in a space the size of a walk-in closet, alone and in the dark. Michelle, single mother, was arrested and told officials, she did the best that she could, which is disgusting because she didn't. 3 years after her daughter was found in the squalid conditions, she had waived her rights as a parent and got only sentenced to 2 years of house arrest, which is despicable, to be honest. I think she should have had life in prison, if anything, like seriously. After Danny was taken, she was taken in by Child Services. She was hospitalized for about 6 weeks. She could only use a bottle, you guys. I mean, she was already 6 years old. How many of us are parents that know that the child should have been, of course, far into academics and education and just the basics on learning, right? Being able to walk, run, talk, go outside and play, have friends, neighbors, school, daycare, like all of these things that this girl was just robbed of by her mother, Michelle. They did a genetic test and there was nothing really wrong with her, but she wasn't stimulated at all. And the University of South Florida had told reporters and stuff that it had been a school psychologist for 20 years, but never seen a child like that. Before the 2005 incident, someone had called to report, seeing a naked, starving girl. Social workers offered to help Michelle, but she refused and they left her in her custody, which again, horrible. Like, we have these people in these positions for certain reasons. And I strongly believe that if you are a social worker and you see something like that, you shouldn't just walk away. It's your responsibility. It's in your job description that you're supposed to care enough in order to get the person help that's been kind of silenced, right? Michelle basically put her child away into a closet and acted as though she was never even there. She didn't ever interact. She never hugged her. She never kissed her. She never played with her. She never told her she loved her. Nothing. She just completely disowned this child and put it in a closet for it to be raised by insects and maggots and like, oh my Lanta. 2 years after Danielle was rescued, she was adopted by a wonderful family. They definitely thought that God had placed her in their lives She just looked like she needed us, the gentleman named Bernie said. So Diane and Bernie were the adoptive parents to her. They had first met at an adoption agency. All would say, that you definitely don't want her. Everybody would have said that, right? But according to Diane, she felt drawn to her and she just wanted to help. I love that. I absolutely love that. Eventually, one of the ladies told my wife, so Bernie says, there's something wrong with her. The girl isn't suitable for adoption. But despite the warnings, they took her in. We didn't know if she'd ever eat with a fork or a spoon, Diane said. You start to think, I don't know how far this child is going to go. Danny had screaming fits several times per day, didn't want to go outside, owing to the fact that she was kept inside for so many years. I mean, how could you even blame her, right? Aw, thank you, Amy. um, So they had to re-potty train her. They had to reteach her the basic developmental things that an infant would learn. She could go to the cupboard and get a glass for herself to get a drink of water. And she's much more open. She will look at people now, and sometimes she will go, to people she doesn't know that well. However, raising Danny apparently took a toll on their marriage, and they ended up getting a divorce in 2015, according to Bernie. So Diane would speak often to reporters about her adopted daughter. When they got Danny, she, was really relaxed. Like they they couldn't work at all during the summer because those were times where there was no school to help. There was nobody involved in her life that she would need constant care, right? Somebody in this type of situation needs to literally be retaught every single little thing. So it's one thing for, a man to take his 9-year-old daughter to the men's room or to carry a 12-year-old off from a carnival screaming. But when she's 17 and weighs, 40 more pounds than her dad and still needs help with her diaper, won't always walk to the car, things get murkier. She started thrashing around in the back seat, banging on the windows before a police officer pulled him over and asked what kind of drugs he had on her. I finally had to admit, God, this is a little too much for me. When she had turned 18, Danny became eligible for Medicare and Social Security. So she was then sent to a group home near Nashville, Tennessee, where Bernie lived as well. They were about an hour apart from each other, and she had shown improvements, and she was more compliant, however, she still couldn't speak or write. Despite all the tribulations, they would still have to take her in. So he stated that it makes him glad that they could give her a home and a family to grow up in. He was quoted by the Mail as saying, biggest things I gave her were love and respect. In 2017, the girl's 19th birthday, saying that, Bernie had checked in with her at least, once a year. He retired 2 years ago after 29 years on the force. He and Danny, showed how important it is to interact with children during the early years. He is a single dad with a son that was 8 years old. The Plant City house where Danny lived with her birth mother is gone. The city tore it down a couple of years ago. Michelle lives in a trailer nearby. She didn't want to talk about Danny for this story. When I went to, see her, she threatened to call the police. So sounds like Mother Michelle was kind of unhinged as well, though. Bernie said that he tried to see Danny every month, but he's been her only visitor, and he's not nearly as exhausted now. Despite the gray in his beard, he looks 10 years younger, but he misses Danny pulling him around while, he feeds the goats, leaning on his shoulder while they watch Alvin and the Chipmunks. it took care, he had taken care of her for as long as he could because that was his job. The Lord gave her to me, Bernie said, because, but, just as I was wishing he would come down here and help me out a bit, he found his place for her, with them. Absolutely horrible, but this girl ended up being adopted by a wonderful family that really took the time to reteach her everything that she kind of needed to know. And as much as she's still dependent on the system because of her past and history, which who could blame her, for crying out loud? Nobody taught her a thing until she was 6 years old before she was starting to learn anything, right? So she's now, quite, a big girl. She's tall, strong, she lives a fairly happy life. And she still visits with the family that had taken her in. But I mean, this story was just absolutely touching because the early years are so critical. Like, you can't, just toss that away or, not take that very seriously, right? Children are seriously, moldable, right? Like you teach them what they're going to learn. You show them those new things, and she never had that. It was absolutely devastating to hear about. To know that she had all that love afterwards, though, was comforting. I think that it's despicable that her mother could do that to her, but most certainly, this girl ended up with the love that she needed. It's just too bad that she didn't have that from the get-go. But yeah, I'm sorry, Heather. It is a touching story, for real. She did deserve better, Lee. I completely agree with you. It's so sad that she was treated like she didn't matter, like nothing. I don't know. I can't imagine anybody doing that. Let me go down. I'll see if I can find. Yes, she does talk now. She loves to be tickled. She loves food. And she loves things that fly in the sky. So birds and planes. But make no mistake, she will forever need help every single day due to her mother's choices of not interacting with her at all through her infancy and into her toddler years to teach her anything. I believe that woman should have gotten prison time, and 2 years of house arrest was not sufficient, in my opinion. That's absolutely horrific that she basically got away with completely abusing her child for 6 years. But yeah, very touching that somebody had enough inside of them to take her on and love her, despite that she had, vicious temper tantrums, screaming matches of, just not understanding life and being able to go outside and enjoy things that you and I enjoy every day. She literally was just a lost, turning into a grown young woman. That's just heartbreaking, right? So luckily she has the support system of the adoptive family, and she of course has the support system of the government and housing and care through, the in-house nurses and people who can come and help cook and clean and just be there for her, right? So it is a touching story, and it's just shocking that anybody could just put their child away like they're nothing. I can't imagine at all. Yeah, it is absolutely devastating. Hey, Tracy. Hi, everyone. Just popped in to say hi. Busy at work. I look beautiful. You're so sweet. If I could see you, I'm sure you look just as beautiful. But she's even learning how to do little, things on her own, helping to cook meals and, just new little tiny responsibilities for her to move on, I'm going to warm up my coffee and I have to use the washroom. I'll be right back. Hello, Kara. I'm okay. All things considered, I'm all right. My back is killing me. My neck and back always kill me, you guys. Always, always, always. Somebody else asked me, oh, it was Nasty Nate. Hey, mister. Yes, wiener, 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 wiener. Isn't that on a movie? Oh, so funny. Hey, half rudder. Too funny. That's hilarious. I remember that. Oh no, it was on Friends. Rachel was just finished having her baby with Ross, and she was trying to call the doctor for every little thing in the middle of the night. And then she actually called him back and did that. Wiener! And then Ross comes around the corner. Rachel, she's like, great, now he's gonna know who it is. She hangs up the phone. Too funny. Thanks for the laugh, mister. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's so awesome. For real. That was so funny, though, that freaking movie. Oh, man. Well, I guess it was more like a half-hour show, but still. I love Friends. I'll always love Friends. You know what's coming back, though, baby? Beverly Hills 90210. That used to be another favorite of mine, and it's actually coming back. I was like, yes! It's always nice to get out of your own drama for a little while, you know, just to keep yourself sane. Oh, man. Yeah, baby. That is so hilarious. I can't believe I just put that all together as quickly as I did, you know? I know, 90210. Like, how are you not as stoked about that if you grew up in the 80s and, you know, they were all the way into the 90s too. So they were definitely a huge hit. I cannot believe it. Mister is probably making fun of us. Off topic, Miss S, but have you ever tried Gabapentin for your back pain. What the heck is that, girl? Is that a natural medication or another prescription? Because I sure really don't want a whole nother prescription. Which is something that I actually just recently got. And I really just don't want to have to pay an additional, bit of money for another prescription. Yeah, I know, right? Love 90210. I'm a 70s baby, but it was still a huge hit and I really loved it. It was like one of the shows to watch, They had great storylines, they had great, love, a little bit of drama, just well-rounded show for real. It was just like Friends for me. That's what I connected it with, So like now that they're coming back, I'm like, oh my gosh, totally gonna watch that. See, I just got recently prescribed something for the fibromyalgia that I deal with. But like I said, you guys, it's just another expense that's like, oh my gosh, like too many expenses with all the bills, student loans, medications already that I currently take, all the way around. You love Brenda and Brandon? I can't remember everybody's names right now, to be honest. Hang on. I like Luke. He was so cute. Is it Luke or Lucas? I don't know. Yeah, Luke Perry. Yeah, I like him. Jason Priestley's a cutie too, but I'm more like I like the darker look. That being said, if a person is a nice person, it really doesn't matter what they look like. I've told you all that before. Luke played Dylan. That's what it was. Yes, and it says that. Dylan McKay. So you liked Shannon Doherty. I'm sure they're going to have new staff too, like all kinds with kids and stuff too, right? Tiffany was another, I liked her. Valerie. So much fun. I cannot wait to see the storylines that they come out with. Gotta love Lucy Liu. Like, seriously, who doesn't like her? She's great in like crime drama movies. Love it. Hello, Mr. Singh. Hello, Pepito. Sandra Lee, Annalise, Jasmine. I love all those shows from the 80s and 90s. Nothing like it anymore. Well, that's why it's coming back. I mean, they're trying to bring back all kinds of the old shows to see if there's new interest in them. So definitely keep your eye out, because there's that's not just that's come back. It was like Golden Girls, Full House. There's a few like MacGyver, Matlock. All those old shows where they started to bring them back out. I believe in unicorns. Hello. But anyways, it's true. Like, all those shows came back, and they wanted to see how popular they kind of would be again. Some of them were a bit of a flop, but some of them are going to be good. Hence 90210. Reliving my youth. That's a good one. Yeah, I guess maybe a bit. Magnum, yes, yeah. Columbo was another one. All kinds, for real. Oh, my day is okay. Dealing with pain, but whatever. That's an everyday thing. We're tough. We got this. I just got out of the hospital. It's your third heart attack. Oh my goodness. Are you serious, girl? Oh, are you talking about Columbo? Jeez whiz. Yeah, Columbo was pretty good. Back in the day, he was awesome. Man, this light is so friggin' warm. No, not you. I know. I realized that afterwards. I'm like, oh my goodness. Ooh, Vincent Young. He's another cutie. He's Noah Hunter on 90210. So excited. It's been strange today. I've lived near woodland. We had a bear near our neighborhood earlier that was spotted up in a tree. Yeah, I think that kind of comes with the territory as we're building out into forest land and stuff like that, that it's bound to happen, you know? Ouch. No, mister. That's a good one. Mister missed what you said, Amy. That's cute. I hope the animal control guy don't shoot it. No, I don't think they don't. They'll just shoot it with a tranquilizer gun, load it up, and take it further out into the. Well, that's what they should be doing. That's the humanitarian way of relocating a wild animal. But I hope they don't shoot and kill it too. Now that you said that, for real. Aw, I'm like, poor bear. Seriously. Captured a moment of true stories with Miss Sherry Wiens. You're so cute. I love ya. I just love ya. The girl that played Kelly. Kelly was Jenny Garth. Yeah, she was good. I liked Kelly. Is that like one of the dart things they use? Yeah, one of the dart things won't kill it. It'll just knock it out cold so that nobody gets hurt trying to get the animal into a cage, carry it, transport it somewhere further into the woods, and then release it after it wakes up, you know? It'll be a little disorientated, but it's not going to die, you know? But yeah, they'll definitely probably just shoot it with, they should be shooting it with a dart to put it out and then re-releasing it. Hey, Gigi. They relocate in the USA. Yeah, that I think this girl over here is in the US. Are you? I believe in unicorns. Where are you from? What did you say it's called? I'll have to remember it. Tranquilizer. It's a tranquilizer. Ow. Ow! Damn. Are you taking my picture? Is that why it says captured a moment? Is that like a photo of me or something, or what? But yeah, they would tend to. What's with the captured? Just click, 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 click. I'm now like a paparazzi fan thing, or what? You're in Alberta for 6 months. Oh, well, if you're in Canada, honey, then they should definitely just be hitting it with a tranquilizer, relocating it, done over, new story type thing, you know? Jenny Garth is a good actress. I totally agree. I don't see her in very many things, though. Did you ever get a chance to look into those creepy criminal missing national park cases? Yeah, you don't remember? I actually looked it up the same day we were talking about it. Not very long, I believe in unicorns. Hey, Josh D, move it to Montreal. You're cute. No, I literally looked it up at that live, and remember I stated to you that there's 90,000 people that go missing in the National Forestry Park or something like that in the United States. Then I looked up the Canadian version of what happens here, and it's 100,000. And we are a much smaller place than the United States of America. despite that we are both North Americans, you have 50 states. You know, we have 10 provinces, and there's 100,000 people going missing over here each year, and there's only 90,000 going missing in the U.S. I was like, what? That's exactly what I did, mister. That is exactly what I did. You're just planning your first tattoo? Well, make sure you don't get anything that you'll regret. Make sure it's something that you love and, you know, that you'll always love. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. 100,000 people in Canada? I'm going to look it up again right now. I should have said each year. I had Googled it. Of course, it looks like it's going to give me something else now. Wow, I didn't realize that there's an estimated 330 million people that visit the recreational parks. It's crazy. Like, that's a huge freaking number, don't you think? Oops. Maybe I put North America? No, because I did check Canada too. Like, what the fiddle? Now it's not even giving me the same anything, for crying out loud. It's not even giving me the same information as it did last time. This is why you can't completely rely on the information that you search. You have to verify that information somewhere. Otherwise, you don't know who the heck even put it into the internet world for you to read. Wanting a small hurt? What's a hurt? Let's try to reword this question. Missing persons Canada statistics. 57,000 children reported missing that year in 2018. So what is the US statistic now? See, like I told you, like we can't even necessarily even go off of this, you guys, because it's given us two completely different sets of information. So it's telling me here, during the year of 1999 in the US, there were 800,000 missing people. Let's see what it says for 2019. I don't actually know if it's actually going to say anything. 2018, because at least I got the full calendar year already done. So for 2018, MEC assisted law enforcement and families with more than 25,000 cases of missing persons. That's a US statistic. From Key Facts, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. How many children go missing in the US each year? According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, roughly 800,000 children go missing and reported missing each year. Roughly 2,000 people a day. Now, what does that say for Canada? There were 57,233. So, yeah, I don't know where the fiddle the 100K and 90K stats even went, and I didn't actually pay attention to where, like, I had Googled it, so the Google drop down of what it said was what I read to you guys in that moment. But now I'm re-looking into it, and it's not even giving me those same numbers. So I'm led to believe that there's 800,000 kids missing a year in the US, which seems like a more plausible number, that it would be a larger number with you guys than there would be with us. And that there's about 57,233 in Canada a year. That was in 2018, though. And vanishing from one spot, being found impossible distances in impossible amounts of time periods between when they vanished versus when they were found. Why? These people were actually found? There's so many super creepy circumstances related to those gone missing. Some been found recovered bodies in impossible spots, like tiny toddlers on high peaks. Weird. No, I hadn't really heard of that. Oh, you want a small heart? I was like, oh. Oh. I'll never forget when we Googled if it's illegal to go missing. And the Google's like, no, it's not illegal to go missing. You're allowed to go missing if you want to go missing, providing you've not, done anything wrong. You haven't done a crime or whatever. Someone commits suicide in the U.S. Yeah, that's a pretty devastating statistic as well, Josh D. That's why I take it so seriously when people come in here and try to say that they're suicidal. Like, I don't joke around like that. That's not funny. And I will definitely go get a 1-800 number at the very least to try to help, National parks have extremely bizarre situations that explain that, like people go missing from other places. So just the national park. Oops. National Park, USA. How many people go missing in the national parks yearly? So yearly, it says about 1,600 individuals go missing. But it also says that the federal government does not track the number of missing persons in national parks, but experts believe about 1,600 individuals mysteriously vanishing each year while visiting parks throughout the United States. And like what? No remains are ever found, or what? Is it possible to go missing with today's surveillance? Well, I think so. If if you really want to not be found, yeah, there's ways you can do that. I would imagine going off the grid would be one, right? If you don't have devices monitoring you, your facial recognition and all these new technology, fingerprints to open stuff and whatever, then yeah, I think it would be possible. If you're willing to go and live off the land and not bring any devices with you, yep, you could totally disappear. It would be absolutely feasibly possible. And there are people that do live like that. I agree on that, sharing, and don't mess with those people. People cry wolf, but then they actually end up doing it. So, I don't know. This was a missing persons. Yeah, like, I mean, it's lothinvestigations.com. Like, again, you'd have to verify if this information was even completely accurate. So in 2018, there were 42,233 reports of missing children in Canada, as reported by the RCMP. Provided by the CIPIC app. Canadian Police Information Center. The guy who did the movie has researched this for decades. He's a retired police officer, investigative detective who's worked on this National Parks missing persons case. Interesting. Yeah, but y'all, if for Amy and Josh, if you guys do you guys think that if a person were to leave all devices and just leave, that they would not, potentially be able to just go missing and not be found? The retired detective title is movie based on his year. Hello, Ali. The Hunted. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of the belief system that if you really want to go and live off the grid, you can go missing, kind of thing. National Center Missing Persons. Unidentified remains. Interesting. Take a compass. That's cute. If no one is looking for them, it might be possible to disappear. If you're a criminal, well, if you're a criminal, then it's illegal for you to go missing. It specifically states that. It's not illegal providing you haven't done anything wrong. I don't know, folks. There's been Jesse Ventura has been like off the grid for how long? He's never been found yet. I said I would talk about the Watts file. I said we would do that on the next live. Yep, absolutely. Because I said that I put up a poll asking you guys what you wanted today. Ew. Asking you guys what you wanted to listen to today, if you wanted to listen to a news story or if you wanted to continue opening up the Chris Watts files. And it was a tie. So I took it upon myself to break the tie and do something different, which ended up being a new story. I'm just going to check and see what it's at now that it's too late, really. See, we only got like 19 votes, and it just surpassed for the Watts files. So we'll definitely on the next live be covering opening up more of the Watts files from the Weld County link. For all of you that are interested in that, join us on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time to do that. Today we talked about the feral child. We've talked a little bit about the Timothy Jones Jr. And then we've talked a little bit about current new shows that were older before, but that are coming back. Yeah, it's always usually a fun interactive conversation, in my opinion, Pam. And I'm happy when you guys join. And I hear thunder. Guess we got another storm here. Tornado, Hallie, watching these clouds. Yes, praying for you, Amy, for sure, honey. Those winds are nothing to play with, boy. I gotta tell you, like, even here, it's gotten quite a bit windier as far as the weather goes and stuff. You can really see global warming kind of coming full-fledged all the way around. And I mean, those winds, I have huge, heavy oak doors where I live, folks. And I mean, I'm not a small girl, right? So, like, my whole body weight leaning on that door, and that door was being pushed forward, closed. And I was like, holy cow. Storms these days are getting deadlier. I totally agree. Hello, Brian and Sapphire Hawk. Hello, hello. Oh, hi. How's it going? Ow. Hi, Brian. We were talking about the feral child named Danielle. We were talking a little bit about Timothy Jones Jr. That's cute. Hi, Hamlet. So, yeah. Anybody have any questions or any other cases that you guys would like to talk about? Oh, that reminds me. No, a feral child is a human child who has lived isolated from human contact from a very young age, and so has had little or no experience of human care, behavior, or human language. There are several confirmed cases and other speculative ones. Feral children may have experienced severe abuse or trauma after being abandoned or running away. There are sometimes a subject of folklore and legends, typically portrayed as having been raised by animals. But poor Danielle was put into a closet and basically left there for 6 years when police found her. She was on like a moldy mattress. There was maggots and fleas and all kinds of insects all around her. She was not in a good she was not in a good environment at all. She was never taught anything from her parents. Um, she was never loved. She was never picked up. She was never played with. She was never taught how to eat, how to crawl, how to walk, how to talk. Nothing. So absolutely disgusting and devastating. The mother only got 2 years of house arrest. House arrest, y'all. Like, what is that? Holy cow. Disgusting. But luckily, the girl got adopted by a wonderful family. They had a ton of patience for her. She really had no idea how to adjust to life, how to enjoy the outside world, how to eat rationally because she was starved so much. My goodness, how heartbreaking, right? How heartbreaking. If you think, folks, that a child is being neglected or abused, I would like for you to call the anonymous toll-free hotline, 1-800-962-2873. Yes, there has been a movie made about it, Sapphire Hawk. Well, I mean, they may have embellished in the movie or whatnot, but regardless, it is pretty devastating no matter how you look at it. And as I stated, there's been several cases like this. It's just despicable. People are having children and bringing them home and treating them worse than dirt. Like, what is that? What is that makes people do that? I don't understand that, and I don't think I ever will. Hello, Mad Malcolm. Right, Sapphire Hawk? I mean, how do people do that? Hello. Hello, Shady Lady. Did I say hi to you, Gigi? I'm not sure. You saw a documentary for feral kids in Russia? Just so, so sad. Thank you for the compliment, Mad Malcolm. Okay, great. Gigi, I was a little worried. Like, did I say that? That's funny. House arrest is when you know people have. No, this chick didn't have any money. It sounds, in my opinion, it sounds as though the judge failed in this case to properly punish what was really happening. This woman did not have money at all. No. So no. Yes, I got it, Gigi. No kidding, right, mister? God calls us the wicked and perverse generation, the evil day. Surely that's probably why God calls it that. It's how people treating babies and little ones. No doubt, right? And like it's sad that parents can get away with doing this. Look at the Turpin kids. How much of a battle do they have ahead of them with having to overcome what was drilled into them? Like some of those kids are over 20 years old, for crying out loud. They're not even kids, but they are psychologically because of the way that David and Louise treated them, and didn't provide the basics and didn't encourage education and didn't, try new foods and all that. Hi, Vicky. So, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting, but you hear about the uphill battle that these kids have to deal with because of the actions of these horrific parents. Like some people just shouldn't be allowed to leave the hospital with their child. I don't know, like if there's any way that will ever be possibly, if it'll ever be possible to regulate something like that, possibly a home check visit before, releasing children. I don't know. You can see my name in the title of my True Stories with Ms. Sherry Wiens. Yes. She should have gotten prison time. Child abuse and neglect and stuff like this is definitely no. Like I don't think that she had money, Hamlet. I do not think that money was at all. This was a very poor single mother home. She was not some rich bitch living on the high life, completely. Thank you, Vicky. Completely living the best life and having everything and anything in the home that was needed. She was completely neglecting and abusing, and there was almost nothing in the home. It was disgusting and filthy. She was a single person who didn't have money. So it's absolutely unfathomable. That's why I say, you know what, in my opinion, I believe that the judge failed here. The judge should have punished this Michelle lady accordingly to what she did to her child. I believe she should have gotten the same amount of time that she locked her child up into the closet the way that she did. She should have been locked up in prison for that long. That's what I think, but that's just me. Hi, Matthew. Thank you for becoming a fan. It is so pitiful. Thank you, Vicky, for the thumbs up. You are awesome. Yeah, she definitely should have been going to jail for 6 years minimum. Like she took away this whole the girl's whole life. She didn't teach her a darn thing. She set her back years doing what she did. No, she should not have been able to just get house arrest for that. She should have gotten jail time for that. And that's not what happened, unfortunately. Thank you, Matthew. You're so sweet. Excuse me. We should pass a test to become parents. Wouldn't that be something nice? I honestly feel like they should have evaluated the home system before just releasing her and stuff. Like, and to know the background of people, like that just should be a prerequisite almost. But you're talking about infringing on people's personal rights and stuff. Vicky, I'm in Canada. And when you're talking about taking away people's rights, you're talking about like lawsuits and stuff. So, and I mean, let's face it, if you're in the United States of America, if you sneeze the wrong frickin' way, you can get sued. So you better believe that, something like this definitely could have had that happen. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? So, for those of you that have been clicking the notifications button and it's not working, check the drop down. When you click that notification button, make sure you select all notifications so that if I put a post in the community page, y'all can see it. And if I post a new video, you get the notification of it. Very cool, Vicky. Welcome to my channel. What about the children's rights? Exactly. That's what I guess I'm trying to get at, Pam, is having that in place at the hospital before that child is released, for crying out loud. If you have to pay thousands of dollars in the United States of America to give birth in the hospital, I believe you should have to go through some kind of a check before you can leave that hospital with that child. You shouldn't just be allowed to be some child predator, sexual offender, or ex-murderer, or a person with an abusive history, and just be allowed to take and parent this infant that we all know is going to be trying and difficult. It's not easy to parent. And when you're talking about infants, they often need caring all throughout the night and day sometimes. So I mean, it's unbelievable that there are so many laws and everything in the States, but there's nothing in place for the children that are coming into the world. There's nothing in place to protect them a little bit more. Anybody could just go in and drop their wad of cash on the table, give birth, and then leave. That just should be a little bit of a different situation, in my opinion, after seeing how perverse and disgusting the world has gotten. I just think it should be kind of a thing now where kids automatically have rights coming in, that adults that are in the hospital will, hold them accountable too. I don't know. That's probably completely far-fetched. I don't know. But it should be a thing. With all the laws and all the rights and everything that we deal with, it really should be a thing that the children do have some type of protection, somebody who's going to care to look into them, maybe even a home visit of sorts from a nurse from the hospital. I mean, it's not completely unheard of. You could be creating more jobs like this. It's not a bad thing, right? Like, I think it's a good thing, and I think that the children should be allowed to have something like that. Why do you have to wait until you're 12 to be able to decide who you want to live with? You should already have some rights the moment that you breathe air and step foot onto this earth, don't you think? With all the rights that we all have, why do they have to wait? I'm not a US girl, Michael B. I'm a Canadian girl. Get it right. Know who you're talking to. I'm going to grab a coffee. I'll be right back. funny. You guys like the candles? They're pretty, right? Birthrights, right? That should be a thing. This kind of matches my other purchase that I did at the garage sale, you guys. Remember? This is all like crystally. I love how pretty it is, you know? I'm going to put it over here for a little bit. Sherry for Prime Minister. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know about that. I would feel really worried or concerned about my level of being able to please everybody and do the right thing and stuff. I get it that it's hard to be in positions of power sometimes, but you know, that's why we got to pray for those people. We got to make sure that they are trying to make the right decision and do the good work, you know? Candle. Well, thank you. But birthrights, in my opinion, should really be a thing. Okay, you know what? I have a quick question to ask y'all. Does it bother you when I get up and leave to go and make a coffee to come back and talk more? Because here's what I'm thinking about doing. If it's bothering people and they're like, I'm leaving, bye, I'll just not be doing that anymore, or I'll be doing a shorter stream. Stream slower. I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. The reason that the system is failing, Chica, if you want to know the answer to that, it's actually pretty sad, though. The answer to the reason that the system is failing is because all of this is money. Every child that is in Child Protective Services and Child and Family Services gets money. Each head is worth money. The more heads they have, the more money they have, the more... It's all money related, sadly. It doesn't bother you because I see your body. Oh, you're funny. Okay, well, thank you. All right, Sapphire, go have a good shower. Yesterday, my power went out. That was the only thing working, so I went and had a shower in the dark. It was a good shower. It makes you get more coffee. Oh, I feel bad because I always see like half the people leave when I do that. And it's not that I'm trying to be rude. I would like to continue the conversation with everybody, but I also have to use the washroom really badly when I drink water and coffee all day. So, yeah. I am happy for look this guy spoken. You make no sense, Michael. None at all. No sense at all. I haven't seen very many new movies, to be honest. Why don't I see a lot of comments that you read out loud? So Pam, I always stream several streams at the same time to include as many people at the same time on the same story. So I am talking with, you know, two different platforms, but I'm looking directly at the cameras right together. So I hope you all feel included. I am trying to maintain that eye contact, you know. I want to see the new movie with Melissa McCartney, but I can't remember what the heck it's called. I'll look it up. The Kitchen and Super Intelligence. Well, I didn't know she had two coming out, actually. Oh, I see, and I haven't seen The Life of a Party. I really want to see that. I really like her as an actress. Like, she knows her shh. No, I don't watch horror movies at all. I believe in unicorns, not at all. Ediz. I'm not sure how to say your name. Sorry, I'm French. Well, that makes you feel better while you're scrolling and looking. Most people know that I stream on several streams at the same time. Maximize the time online type of thing. Hello, Edith. Hello, Pierre Carl. Unicorns are real. Yeah. There's a person's name that's actually named that. I_believe_in_unicorns. It's like, okay, you are entitled. I used to actually really, really like unicorns. One of my cousins was kind of a unicorn collector and stuff, you know. I am disappointed when you go for coffee because you forget to bring me a coffee back. I wish I could just put it right through the camera, you know? I wish. I really want to see Melissa McCartney's movie Life of the Party, and then I don't know what these, like, what is The Kitchen? Is this a horror movie that she's done? Because I don't know if I'd watch that one. I don't know what it's called. When gangster husbands wind up in prison in the 70s, their wives take over their organization to become Hell's Kitchen's most powerful mobsters. Well, then, that seems a little bit interesting, to be honest. Let's see what the superintelligence one says. A woman's life spirals out of control when she's selected to be observed by the world's first true artificial intelligence. Interesting. I wonder if these are like more serious or comedy. They kind of seem on the more serious side, which is not bad. That's kind of cool. You should do a show on Bigfoot. Are they real or not? You know, I don't know. To be honest, only God really knows the answer to that question. Who knows if there's really Bigfoot and Sasquatches and what's the serpent that's under the water? A Loch Ness or something? I don't know. I'm a scientist. I'm not allowed to believe in unicorns and stuff. Nibsy, hello. No, don't call me mom. Get out of here. Seriously. Chill out. What the fiddle? You come online and call some stranger mom? Like, what the fiddle? Who does that? Who the frick does that? Hello, Matthew. Well, I am not, so hello. My back is killing me, but all things considered, whatever. Gotta deal with it, right? That's so funny. Now everybody's gonna try to go on the poll and try to vote for the show that they wanted to see. Well, I guess they should have voted for that before we got started, eh? I left it up for a whole hour. Well, folks, as much as I love y'all, I got other things that we need to get done today. So I think we're just going to halt our live today. I told you guys that we will be back on Tuesday to do the opening of the Chris Watts files together, which I'm actually excited about because then I usually don't really do any makeup. I can actually wear my pajamas sitting here if I really wanted to. Because the camera's not on me at all. So it's like, great. Thank you. My laugh's not fake. That's so funny. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, well, when we're doing Chris Watts files and stuff, I really do kind of know that case inside and out, backwards and forwards and frontwards, and every detail that was ever released to us, I have read over, if not several times. So I feel like, we can keep going through it and stuff. It's a little bit repetitive for me, but it's for you guys that we're doing it. So definitely we'll be back on Tuesday to do more of that. Chica, you're such a sweetheart. Thanks, doll. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Gonna go for the rest of your go rest with your hubby, watch some TV. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. And we'll be back Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. And we will hit that Watts case files up and we'll start opening them again. Yes, have a great day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see more of you. And we will see you guys again soon for another true story with me, Sherry Wiens. Bye for now.